Everybody. Get that smile on your face. Oh my God. Gymnastics. Where are all these people in the basement tonight? And there's so many more outside, right? It's a wonderful, cool
Sure,
day
why
in
not?
St. Louis.
It is nice.
We are so lucky. We're all blessed to be together tonight. Oh, yeah. Let's just put that on the floor.
I'm sure that won't be a problem later.
Probably not.
We'll just have to untangle this mess one person at a time.
That's right.
That's right.
We have people from all over the country and the world here tonight with us.
That's awesome.
We're going to have some fun on this one. Are you ready on the stopwatch,
I am
Joshua?
ready. Let's do this.
Rock and roll. Hey, Dad.
Let's move it.
Come on, he's hungry. Let's go. Let's get this done.
Daniel
Stuff to
Coombs, give us a countdown and let's have fun with 205.
Let's wing it. 3, 2, 1.
The What's Neat This Week video podcast is supported by enthusiastic model railroaders just like you.
These are anyway.
And by GL Robotics, with over 61 colors of 3D printing filaments in stock, your gateway to new technology. Check out their website at glroboticsusa.com. Additional support is provided by Spring Creek Model Trains, your destination for model trains. Stop in and say, wow. Check out their website at springcreekmodeltrains.com. And by Intermountain Railway Company, where the detail makes the difference. Check out their website at intermountain-railway.com. Further support is provided by MicroEngineering, keeping you on track with quality products for 55 years. Check out their website at www.microengineering.com. Order from your local dealer or order direct by calling 1-800-462-6975. Additional support is provided by Yelsma Graphics, America's leading distributor of quality railroad art and embroidered clothing since 1985. Check out their website at yelsma.com. Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast. This is the What's Neat This Week show in Model Railroading, show number 205 for August 13th, 2022. I'm your host, Ken Patterson, the host of that wonderful show, What's Neat, over at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine. And yes, the September show is not done yet, but all the final editing and all the final clips are complete. So I've got until the 25th to get that done. Thank you very much, Joe Fugate. I very much appreciate you taking the pressure off. We've got a lot of amazing people on the set tonight as we are just coming off of and still in the NMRA National here in St. Louis for year 2022. They're all down at the Marriott. Is that right? The hotel?
The hotel is the Marriott downtown.
Yes,
is the convention
correct.
hotel.
That's where the convention was. And then the show itself, the train show, which is very children friendly, is held in Gateway Center over in Collinsville, Illinois. I saw a lot of folks with strollers and a lot of happy couples. It's very different dynamics than what the RPM show was that we shared with you 2 weeks ago on this show. Needless to say, it's been an absolutely wonderful week here in St. Louis. Great weather, great modelers, a lot of beautiful models to look at, great modular layouts. All the manufacturers that we've grown to love are here in St. Louis, which was absolutely fantastic, including I've got George Bogatiuk from Soundtraxx with us. So I'm going to start out with the introductions correctly as I go from this side. Daniel, this is my father, Ken Bird. Hey, Ken.
Hey, hi, podcast watchers.
Sitting right next to my father is Mike Budde.
Hey,
Mike.
everybody.
Right here is me, Ken Patterson. Sitting right next to me is Sugarfire, Joshua Barton.
What's up, everybody?
We love you, Josh. Also sitting next to Josh is George Bogatiuk, and yes, I can spell your last name.
I'm so proud of you.
It's takes you 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Sitting right next to George is George.
This is Norman Carnaby. He's our new support guy here at Soundtraxx. And
Norman.
we'll talk to him a little bit later.
That's awesome, Norman. I need to write your name down in notes to get you in the end credits. Sitting right next to Norman, I've got my favorite, Dan Mycio from TCS.
You remembered, great. I'm happy to be back, Ken. It's great.
And we've got some other special guests that we're going to bring on the show in just a little while. Folks from New Zealand and folks from Chile. And yes, they do model trains there as well. And I'm blown away at their conversations that we've had this week here. So there's been a lot going on. As I've said, we had the open house here on the property, whereas they did in fact bring a charter bus down this little bitty tiny curvy 2-lane road called Susan Road, and I couldn't believe that bus fit on the street. But as Dan told us that they can turn a fire truck around down here, so why not a tourist bus? As I'm showing you video clips of all the folks getting off of this motor coach, Holly and I greeted all of the visitors one at a time at the top of the driveway. We all shook their hands, introduced ourselves, and welcomed them to the property as they all migrated into the backyard. Just like the RPM meet, there's plenty of space out there. They were looking at the river, looking at the Garden Railroad that was running absolutely perfect this week, and they were otherwise having a great time. Then we come inside the property, and you can see here in the basement, everybody fit. Everybody's lined up along the wall, along the river down here, and all the trees, both sides of the basement. Everybody's having a good time. We received a few gifts from a few folks, and one of them that I have on the table is this hat. And this hat says Norfolk and Southern. And as you well know, I get that wrong on the show quite often. It's not, I don't say NNS, I say Norfolk and Southern. Thank you very much, Mark Lundgren, for giving us this hat. Just so everybody knows, it is NNS.
But he still says it wrong.
I was going to say, now you can show everybody that, no, in fact, look, it's right.
Right.
I know, right? In the new news, and that's what this show is all about, there's a press release that will be coming out this week, and we will have it on next week's show, whereas MicroEngineering, that wonderful company down there, Ron Rands and the whole Rands family, at this point, Ron wanted to retire. And so MicroEngineering has in fact changed hands with a very capable group of men that have purchased it. A father and many of his sons are going to run the company here in St. Louis and continue to make track as we all love MicroEngineering track. Some of the most beautiful scale track out there, plus the bridges and the wheelwork lines and the buildings. There's so many facets to that company. So we wish them all the best, and we will receive a press release from them. And in fact, next month, they will be on the show with us to tell their story and explain their passion for the hobby. And I think that's going to be absolutely wonderful.
That's awesome.
Right.
I'm excited about that.
So where do we go from here? Let's go to George Bogatiuk. George, you're in St. Louis. It's awesome to have you here. Chrissy is not with you tonight. I'm bummed out.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, we flew this time and instead of driving out, so we had to leave her behind. So given the fact this was the National Train Show, we brought a whole bunch of our crew out because we had a big announcement this weekend. It was pretty exciting. I even got an eyebrow raise from Mike Budde, and I'll let him comment on this.
Norm and George, tell us about this announcement.
So we have exciting news. It's called Bluenami. This is a Bluetooth-enabled controlled DCC decoder. So it merges the best of all worlds. You have Bluetooth direct control from your iPhone or your iPad, iOS device. It talks directly to it via Bluetooth communication. And you also have DCC capability. So if you're running DCC, you can still put it in your train and run it with all your other locomotives. You get that nice award-winning Tsunami 2 sound, but now you have that extra added benefit of Bluetooth control.
Okay, I got a question. So if you're using this decoder, let's say that it comes commercially available in a manufacturer's product, I don't need DCC anymore?
You don't have to have DCC at all.
Okay.
You can use simply track power. So you can put DC power on the rails. You can use DCC for track power to power the decoder. And we can even go one step further with battery power. So with onboard battery power, you no longer have to have all these extra communication devices for wireless control. So where it's really going to shine is out in your garden railroad, because we can put an onboard battery, or we can use the DC track power that's out there, connect it to our app, and run it directly from outside, and we can run it. We don't need DCC. And all the settings, everything are inside the app. So you have intuitive menus that open up. You can make all your selections. You can select the sound profiles. You can select the momentums. You can set the volumes. You get instant feedback. And with that Bluetooth communication, you're no longer relying on that DCC interface. Wow. And what's really exciting about this is that really we've been showing it off, and this has just gone gangbusters. And this has actually reached markets that we didn't expect. there's a room at the show this weekend that's all Lego guys. And these guys run battery power. They're coming in. They're cleaning our retailers out of Bluenami.
Okay, hold on. So if I don't have track power in the Garden Railroad, I could take this decoder and be like dead rail?
Yes, you can connect a battery directly to the decoder and talk to it from your iPhone or your iPad.
What took so long, George?
Development, honestly. We've been actually working with another company called Blue Rail, and they've actually developed the app to work with our decoder. So we've been communicating back and forth and partnering with them to get this really exciting interface integrated into the product line.
Okay.
And so we've been really excited about it. We made the announcement. This is our big train show this weekend, and my God, have we been busy.
You've sold
It
out
has
from what I
been-
understand. Now, okay, dead rail. So this thing can operate off of track power or off of battery power.
Correct. All I need is a DCC, or I'm sorry, let me say that again. All I need is track power or some sort of DC power source.
And I can use my cell phone to make it go.
Correct. And you can make your cell phone do all the settings. You can make your cell phone make all the adjustments, volume levels, everything using the Bluenami app.
It's got sound in it.
It has sound on
And
board.
this is
in the
not a
decoder.
stripped down Economy decoder.
No.
This has got
This
all the
is-
full functions as a Tsunami 2
Yep.
decoder.
So everything you love and really enjoy about the Tsunami 2 decoder, it will be built into this Bluenami decoder, just now with that extra added control.
That's
What
awesome.
about the price point, George?
So
Good question. Good question. Good question.
So the app is a free download off the App Store from Apple. You can download it directly. You can download it right now and have it on your phone ready for when you buy that first Bluenami decoder. Now, the first introduction into the product line is our Blue 2200. And this is our 2 amp, 6 function, 2 watt amplifier decoder, just like the Tsunami 2 TSU 2200. It's just about 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch longer. Same width, same thickness. And the retail price for the TSU 2200 is $132.95.
Okay.
The retail price for the Bluenami is $169.95. So it's really not that much more.
No.
About a $37 price difference.
I'll have to get a mortgage to change all my locomotives, though. But
But here's the best part, though, is now instead of all having to buy new throttles and do everything else, you just buy a Bluenami and you already have a phone in your hand.
So what scales is this going to work in?
So currently our Blue 2200 is the only one we have out and for sale this weekend.
Okay.
At the show, and I'm showing you B-roll here right now, we actually have a 4 amp decoder in development ready for the large scale market.
Okay.
So this is going to be a 4 amp, 8 function lighting outputs, everything built into it. Again, Bluenami, because this is going to be coming out. Now, this is the very first prototype, so I don't have any details on all the pricing and part numbers or anything like that. That will be coming, but we're just making sure the board works. And so far this weekend, this board's held up to all the abuse and torture that all their customers have been giving it and demonstrations. So we're pretty confident about this should be able to be in production. So especially for the large scale market, we're super excited about this because prior you had to buy a expensive throttle, then you had to buy a receiver, then you had to buy the decoder to get all this. Now you just buy the decoder and your power can be through the track, or if you buy the onboard battery, then you just connect it, put it in your model. It takes up a lot less space. And if you have another one, you just still buy another decoder and put it in, and you're still controlling it through the app.
Excellent.
George,
So-
what blew me away today was when you MU'd the G scale locomotive up with the HO scale, and on 2 different tables even.
Yes.
And you switch them from forward to reverse and everything. You showed me how to consist it and everything. I mean, it really
It
was,
makes it super easy to
Yes.
consist.
I
And
mean, I was
you can
really
consist as
impressed.
many engines as you want together as long as your system will hold that many.
Do you see this decoder being scalable down for N scale?
We hope so, but right now at this moment in time, the Bluetooth chip is actually about the size of your pinky nail, so
Okay.
it's going to add significant size to N-scale.
So it could fit in a steam engine.
Short term, yes, it should be able to fit into a N-scale
So
steam
you're
engine.
telling me that Dan over here from TCS is going to be a closet Soundtraxx user?
Well, that's going to
We
be a
won't
hard
tell
sell.
anybody.
That's going to
Your
be a hard
secret's-
sell.
It's our
Your secret's safe with all of us.
But to expand on what Mike but to expand on what Mike was talking about, and I'm showing you B-roll here of how easy it is to consist. You have 4 consists in your app on your device. So if you have multiple people with multiple devices, each of them have up to 4 consists they can build. Now, Daniel, you and I have talked about how to build consists using DCC, and we've talked about all the CVs and the math and how you build it all together, so it becomes a little bit more difficult and complicated. But now there's simple checkboxes. You tell the app, the lead locomotive, I want these functions on, and so things like headlight, horn, bell, dynamic braking, and braking for diesels. And then for the middle units, you say, well, no lights, no horn, no bell, dynamic braking and braking. And then for the trailing unit, you have rear headlight, no horn, no bell, dynamic braking and braking, and then maybe the coupler sound, and you just trigger that on and off. And then so when you add it into the consist, you tell through the app, you tell that decoder you're a middle locomotive or a trailing locomotive, and then you just simply connect it, and it intelligently does it, because the Bluetooth communication direct to the decoder is now sending that faster than a DCC signal can.
Okay.
And so the decoder's responding. So it's actually communicating out to all of the decoders an individual command based on its position in the consist. And so what's really cool about it is I can add a locomotive in a matter of seconds. I don't have to pull out notes or calculate CVs and type all this stuff out. I just simply tell it middle, end, or lead, middle, trailing, enter, done.
This
And
is,
then
this is going to be great for club layouts.
absolutely.
Well, and the CV. I've always had issues with changing my CVs. I got to go on to NMRA and get my computer out.
Right.
Yada, yada. You can go in here and it's touch button. I mean, it's so easy to change all these different things. And it gives you a list of all the horns and stuff. So, I mean, it's everything all on your phone, which is amazing.
It's a revolution.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And what's best is then when you want to break the consist, you just simply hit the unlink and it's an independent locomotive again. And it, like Mike was talking about, when you get to the end, so if you have two locomotives back to back, you get to the end of your run and you're going back, you just hit the make lead for your rear locomotive and it intelligently switches, and now forward is actually forward. Matter of seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting, and I mean, it's been a lot of fun showing it off, and everybody's really excited about it. And like Ken said, a lot of the retailers are sold out of their first builds, and the first production run hit the shelves on Friday, so they're starting to ship out to the rest of the retailers, other than the ones that were here at the show this week. So make sure it is a retailer exclusive for a period of time. So make sure you check with your retailer and get your orders in. And we're going to do our best to get the next build into process so we can get it on the shelf, because man, this is fast. And then, like I said, we're going to continue the development on the 4-amp version. So
I
that we
love
can
the
get it.
development part, because as you recall, about 4 years ago, you and I and Chris Palomares and Mike, we were sitting down here in the basement just kind of bandwidthing what could come in the future. And that's when Bachmann came out with that tablet system that ran on Bluetooth.
Yep.
And we were like, why can't we self-contain that into one decoder? And then we came up with the concept name of something called Tsunami Blue, but you came up with the name of
Bluenami.
Bluenami, which I really
Very
like
clever.
the flow of that. That is
Yes.
clever.
Excellent
Hats
choice.
off to that.
So it shows the
Yeah.
Bluetooth legacy,
Yes.
or I'm sorry, the Bluetooth control with the Tsunami legacy built in together.
Right.
So
what about
I mean,
controlling accessories, switches?
so at this moment in time, it would still be done through your DCC system, or you can implement LCC on your layout.
Right.
And if you're implementing signals, you can still use track power to control the locomotive, and your triggers for your track detection and things like that will all still work
the same.
perfectly, because it's still using that track power. So all of that would still work just the same. So if you have DCC now, you can buy Bluenami and run them with your DCC locomotives with no change. You know, if you don't open the app, the decoder behaves no different. But once you open the app now, you can talk to just that Bluenami decoder or Bluenami decoders and talk to them, add them in, consystem, run multiple trains. You can run up to, there's actually no limit, but this partnership with Blue Rail, he said he's had operators that have run 20 locomotives with his Blue Rail app and never once had any issues
Fantastic.
Yeah.
at the same time. Though there's, you know, we can go a whole lot more, but he doesn't see any limits other than what's on your track power.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're
So-
the best, George.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this, it was very exciting when Mike comes around the corner and I showed it to him and he said, well, let me see what this is. I said, okay, well, you're going to show me what this is. And I gave him the tablet and he started pushing the buttons and running the trains. And like I said, with his eyebrow raise, we may finally get him to start installing sound.
One step closer.
That's right.
Mike, we love you, buddy.
I
thanks.
still want you to install your NCE system that we got you.
Well, that's, I
Yes.
guess that's all part of the same.
It's in the box.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
So I'm going to do some pan shots of the room of the show. The show had over 50,000 square feet of modular layouts, manufacturers, and models in it. in that it was bigger than what the RPM show was, because there was probably, I want to say, 10 modular layouts, including the Lego layout. They had a Brio layout, not Lego, but Brio wooden trains that you push. A gentleman brought a great big Brio layout for the kids that the words "don't touch" don't work. This one you could touch, and this one you could play with. So that was wonderful to see. There was a lot of HO scale layouts and N scale layouts. And of course, Denny Yelsma was there, and we were handing out the hats that he had created for us with the What's Neat This Week logos on them, and passing out flyers, which I didn't know until today. I'll have my email address on them. So it was absolutely wonderful, the branding that Denny afforded us to be able to give out at the show today, just to show. And the comments and the compliments and the people that walked up to myself and Joshua and Mike were, the homage was overwhelming. We really appreciate the fact. Mike, tell me, when we had that open house you were down here, give me some of your experiences of what people said to you.
Well, it was really humbling, and gratifying to know that so many people really, really like what we do, and we're just being ourselves, man. You know what? We're not acting or anything, but we had people from Germany, New Zealand, England. I can't remember.
Chile!
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
Australia.
And all of
Scotland.
them.
Yeah.
It was just.
I
it
saw
was
Michael
amazing.
Gross there.
Yeah.
he was
Michael
there.
Gross created a segment, and I'm probably going to show it, but I'm not going to show it now, but maybe I will, where he points at the camera and says, "You're watching What's Neat with Ken Patterson."
Yes.
So we've got an updated file on that. I probably would have showed it. He is such a professional, and he is so down to earth. I absolutely love him. He's not able to attend this show tonight because he is the guest speaker at the banquet this evening, which is the NMRA banquet that they have every year.
Looks like we're going to need to crash that as soon as we're done with it.
Yes. So before I go to Dan Mycio, I want to go all the way over to our guest microphone, and I'm going to start out with Emma and James Snelgrove. And they are from New Zealand.
Hey everyone.
Hey guys, come on, step here and show us your beautiful faces. You guys are such a cute couple. You came to our open house here on the property, and Mike Budde said, we've got to put them on the show.
Thank you for having us.
It's
Great,
awesome.
It's good to have you.
Tell us about what you all modeled there.
Well, we model HO scale, and it's Rio Grande and Union Pacific and a bit of Southern Pacific, and it's a layout not too far from this size, and we've got some great modelers back in New Zealand, so I've been very lucky. There's a crew that come up every Friday night and give us a hand, and Emma, she's out there too, giving us a hand, and she sorts us all out and really organises us all and provides the food.
Yeah, sure do.
Very,
That
very
is so
cool.
awesome. Now, most of your railroads in New Zealand, are they not narrow gauge?
They're 3'6".
3'6", and these are modern EMD locomotives, correct? And GE locomotives?
Well, no, they're Chinese. I don't actually know what brand or make they are. They're just new, so we sidestep that. We're more into the US.
Okay.
Very nice.
I detect the name Siemens in there somewhere.
That's
there,
right. In some way, shape, or form.
But it's got to be absolutely fascinating. And you guys have got full hobby shops and things like that there?
Yeah, look, there's the odd hobby shop, but unfortunately, like most things these days, are closing down. So we struggle to find a lot of stuff. Hence the reason why we're over here in the US this weekend. So
Okay.
it's been pretty
We
exciting
have a
for
lot
us.
of stuff to bring back. A lot of stuff
So
to
you
bring
guys
back.
bought some stuff.
Good
I had to
bring
bring an
extra
empty suitcase so
Okay.
he could bring everything back.
So you both. So
Hey.
it's fair to say that you both share the hobby and the passion together.
Yeah, pretty much. Whatever he's into, I just roll with it. I help with the trees, help with making the rocks and all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, got to look after the guys on train night. So someone needs to bring out the drinks and the nibbles. So yeah, so we So yeah.
There we go.
We love it.
boy.
We love it. So yeah.
That's a great partnership.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I know, cherish that.
Yeah.
You guys are such a beautiful couple, and you're both very lucky to have each other, and I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I got to get
Thank
one
you.
of those.
Thank you for having us. There's plenty more back in New Zealand.
Road trip. Oh, wait. No.
Yeah.
That's going to be a wet road trip.
Well, plenty of time, yeah.
I know. Tonight was a big night for my father. He finally got to meet Holly, my girlfriend.
Yes.
That was like huge because it's like the first time that you introduce your girlfriend to your parents.
Yeah, I told her.
How did that work out?
I told her it's like the movie, Meet the Parents, but I didn't give her a polygraph. She's fine. She's great.
I'm probably
is
still
absolutely
watching her
wonderful.
like this, though.
Yeah. No, she's fine. I think I'm great that my son has found somebody.
Yeah.
And your
It
wonderful
is.
wife, Jenny, is sitting behind you there. We both shared a cigarette, each smoked a cigarette on the back porch and conversed about how wonderful it is that you two found each other. I think she really likes you, Dad.
I think I'm going to hang on to her for a while.
Good job. All right, next we've got Miguel. Miguel Knuckey came all the way from Chile.
Hi guys.
Hey!
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here. I came from a long way, same as the folks there.
Yeah.
But it's incredible, you know. I came here to learn from you, from people from here, and I'm learning a lot. My wife and daughter, which are the authors now, are having an incredible time, and really, really, this is the place where all model railroaders should be.
Yeah. We had a good time going out to dinner with you and your wife and your
we took
daughter.
them a little sightseeing,
Yeah,
and it was
Josh
fun.
drove us around. That was a good time, man.
Good.
Thank you.
So
We really enjoyed all the help that you provide us and the friendship.
Right. No problem.
And so let's talk about, you do a lot more weathering than actual modeling, correct?
Yes.
And you actually won a few awards this weekend at the
yes,
NMRA.
Yeah.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a kind of incredible experience. It's a life experience to be here in a NMRA convention, first in my life, and not the last.
Excellent.
But I have to confess something. I just come here, you know, because it was the convention, because it was here in St. Louis, because of you. Because what you're doing with this show is really, really powerful.
Wow.
People, that's the living proof. You know, guys from New Zealand, I'm from Chile. People from Argentina, Brazil, Peru are watching you and learning. Sorry.
That's awesome.
That's great, man.
Thank you for all of you guys that are watching to let us into your house every day. You know,
Right.
there's so many things to watch on TV. You can watch this guy or these people or Magnum PI or whatever. But you're letting us come into your house every week and listening to the things that we have to tell you.
I had a girl tell me that at the show today. She says, "You know, Ken, you're in my living room every week."
Yeah.
And she was sincere. She meant
Yeah.
it. It was cute. We had people come here on the open house and say the only reason that I came to this NMRA convention was because I wanted to get a picture of myself sitting behind this table next to you, Ken. So there's been a lot of homage, and it's hard to even as a alpha male, it's hard to not get emotional about that, you might say.
I had a gentleman come up and say he told me that we helped him. You know, he was going through some bad times and some, you know,
Yes.
I mean, life is hard out there, and
Right.
for us to just give back for a half an hour and get his mind off stuff.
That's awesome. I can't
He said
believe
it
I
was
just said that.
amazing. So I appreciate each and every one of you that watch.
It's
Right.
awesome.
And all
Sure.
you that are here too.
And we'll keep
Yeah.
doing it as long as we can. It's all
absolutely.
about the affordability of keeping the show going, having the equipment, you know, just keeping everything moving forward. And we couldn't do it without our sponsors. And there are those of you that would love to contribute to this show, and you can do that. We don't use Patreon. I understand there's an app in YouTube where we could actually have you donate, but instead we use kenpatterson.com on the homepage, and you simply click donate on that page, and we receive your proceeds. And someday we will read off all the names that have contributed to the show. We did that 4 years ago when we started the show, and we had no equipment at all, and we simply started a GoFundMe account. That's still there, but I'm not sure how active it is, and I might actually shut that down. But yeah, kenpatterson.com, donate on the homepage. And we're not asking for money, but if you want to contribute $1 or $2, it all goes a long way to helping keep the lights on and keeping this place going. And that's, you know, that's just a fact. It's just like public television. It's the same.
Right.
We always say at the beginning of the show that this show is created for viewers like you because of the support of you.
Can we have a telethon? with the little red dial that goes up and then.
Are you willing to be on camera for 24 hours?
Oh, I don't do camera. I don't like being on camera at all. Are you
Oh,
kidding
yeah,
me? I'm
right?
never on camera.
Yeah,
I'm
fair
not
enough.
convinced.
All right, without further ado, I've got Dan Mycio sleeping on my couch until Wednesday.
That's right.
You had to lead off with that, didn't you?
And Dan brought something very special tonight to share with the viewers of Wheat's Neat. And I can tell you that all of our wonderful NCE throttles will also work with this system. Go ahead and shoot.
Spoiled a part of my presentation.
Go ahead and shoot.
The best part.
Yeah, so I mean, the name of the show is What's Neat This Week. Let me tell you, this is What's Neat This Week. This just came out. We just started releasing these products on Tuesday. They are available for sale. Our name of our company is Train Control Systems, and people know us for our decoders and our sound decoders. But originally, when we started the business, the point of the Train Control Systems name was to build a command station. And it's been, well, let's see, 23 years. Here it is, 23 years in the making, a command station. We've been working with some really smart people who have been working very diligently to bring this product to market. And what I've got to show and to demonstrate here today are a total of 3 products, all being released at the same time. Starting over here on the left, we have the CS105, which is the command station first generation 5 amps. This is the very first command station, as I understand, in the world that includes LCC, which you heard George so eloquently mention before. LCC stands for Layout Command Control. As you may know, DCC stands for Digital Command Control. So is LCC not digital? No, it is. But it's not meant for running your trains directly. It's rather meant for running your layout. So Ken, you don't have a signal system on this layout, but if you did, this command station would be able to run a signal system on a completely isolated bus. There are some very talented people such as RR Circuits who develop products over LCC for signaling systems, and there's a lot of up-and-comers as well. I can't say their names right now because they escape me, but they are developing products for this system, and the point of this system is really to give LCC that swift kick in the butt it needs to really come into the fore, because a lot of people haven't heard about it, even though it's been a standard that's been developed over the course of many years. So, in addition to the command station, I also have this right here, which is the B106, which is the booster first generation 6 amp. It's a 6 amp booster you can use in addition with the CS105. As well, it has LCC on here, and that would be how you would interface between the booster and the command station. Also over here, I have our second command station product. This is the LT50, which is short for layout throttle, and the 50 comes from UWT50. So this is our wireless throttle. We've had this on the market for quite some time. You may be familiar with it. And we've taken the same form factor, same shape, same design, and we turned it into a command station. So this has all the same features as your UWT throttles and UWT50 in as well as a command station. So you've got this wired connection. Comes into this panel. This is our LT panel. And you'll notice here it has a green LED. That green LED is an indication of track power. So if I disable the track power, like so, it goes red, which tells me that my layout power is off. I can restore it, and it comes back to green again. As well as disconnecting the throttle, which will also turn it red, indicating that my panel has power, but not necessarily my track. Also connected is our expansion panels for additional LCC throttles. This can double as a throttle, but we're also going to be releasing a T50 throttle 50, which would be able to be used with these expansion panels to give you remote access from other parts of your layout if you have something that's bigger than, let's say, a 4x8. Some other neat features about the system: not only do we have LCC, but the command station also supports cab bus. It has this port on here. This is an RJ11, and RJ11 can be used for systems like the NCE, as well as others like System 1, Ramtrax, and down the line we're also going to be introducing support for the other protocols used by Lens. The name of it escapes me at the moment. But there are other European systems, I believe Roco and Markland, yes, those also use the same one. And those would be compatible with this system post-release when we release the software. So like I said, these products are available. They just started sales on Tuesday, and we're going to be shipping by the end of August.
Wow.
And as a matter of fact, if you have noticed the trains running in the background, I have a second one of these systems that we set up. And Ken and I were going to be doing some videos on the setup process for that to explain to you how simple it can be.
And we're going to run those videos on the What's Neat show at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine.
That's exactly right. So one other thing I would like to mention about this system, since it seems to come up a lot in conversation and questions from our people I've talked to at the shows this week, is, as a matter of fact, related to consisting, which you very much went into detail on before on how it's implemented in your Bluenami decoders. And I was thinking to myself the whole time you were talking, George, golly, that sounds a lot like how we did it. So the system, for those of you who may have a UWT100, or even if you don't, you may be familiar with how we've done consisting. Ken, you and I did a video all about how to do it in the UWT100 back when that came out, when I was here in January. And you can check out that video on the Model Railroad Hobbyist YouTube page, right?
That's where the consisting is not in the command station itself, but it's saved in your throttle so that your consists go with you, so that when you take your throttle to another layout and run it on a Wi-Fi system, your consists are already consisted with the locomotives you bring in the UWT100 and UWT50 throttles, as I recall.
Yes, that's exactly right.
I do remember that video.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a great video. It was very helpful. So that system, the elements of it that aren't the whole you can take it around with you, were also incorporated into the command station. So a lot of the things George mentioned, such as being able to very easily add or remove members, as well as determining what its position is within the consist and what functions are given to it while it's in a consist or while it's being operated as a single unit, those are part of the roster system that's built into the command station. We have a theoretically limitless roster system. It's based on the system's memory. And you can actually operate up to 260 locomotives at once, and all of those are done through that's individual locomotives, including ones that are consisted through our consisting system. The consisting system is, like I say, a part of the roster, and there are other settings that you can set up in the roster. I have an example on the LT50. Daniel, if you wouldn't mind zooming in on this here real quick. Our system includes a built-in roster, and you can have details about the locomotive, like its name, and that can be associated with a DCC address or not. You can have details about the locomotive, such as what the function names are, what they do. You can apply that to any manufacturer's decoder, not just TCS. You would set that up, and then the user interface would be reactive to it. The consist settings allow you to, like I say, turn on and off functions, easily disband and add members to a consist. So adding helpers is a big thing that you can't necessarily do with CV19. Ken, I know you don't have any problems with consist because you run everything on address 3.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that gives them a hard time about that.
That's right.
Hey, I'm the one who's been trying to talk.
So if you aren't like Ken and you give every locomotive each individual address, you may not like the CV19 consisting method. I don't blame you. It takes forever to set up and forever to take apart. And there's a lot of complexities to it, and it's not necessarily very easy to understand if you're unfamiliar with it. So our objective, as well as yours very clearly, has been to make consisting simple. So that's exactly what we've done. And we'd be happy to give you a demo. We're going to be doing some videos. I think we're going to do a video on exactly that while I'm here. And so keep an eye out for that with Ken and I, with the Model Railroad Hobbyist website or YouTube channel.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Dad, you spend any money at the show today?
You know, I did.
What'd you buy?
Yes. I bought a used car. And I bought one of these CDs this fellow was selling. No, I'm telling you. I have got so much equipment now. It's, Jenny, you know, that I don't want to buy any more equipment for a little while. I got to kind of downsize some of it, I think.
Didn't you know the game is
he
who dies with the most locomotives wins?
You know, I bought my first Globe F7 in 1954 as a 14-year-old kid, and I've still got one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But what I did buy today, and I think you see a lot more of this. This guy is selling these CDs with these backgrounds and all these building parts that you can put together, print it out on your computer, and build your buildings or build your background scenes. I'm going to try that out. It's kind of interesting to me. Well, as Ken calls me an old scale model railroader, and I still old school, yeah, old scale too. HO. I build most of my stuff with an X-Acto knife, a steel rule, and some either Strathmore or styrene. I'm not into 3D.
We
yet.
got to
I'm
get
looking
you hooked
at
up
3D.
with Greg Summerlin and GNO Robotics.
I don't understand it either.
It's not that I don't understand it. It's just that at my age, do I want to invest that kind of money in a hobby?
Sure you do.
Yeah, I do. Right? But I
print me some stuff.
I think that's what's really amazing is to witness, in all the years I have been in the hobby, to witness the change in technology. Here's a perfect example tonight that these gentlemen have presented. And what I saw at the show today in signaling and in LED-powered lit cars and fire engines and all this stuff.
Oh, East Coast
fantastic.
circuits.
It's just amazing
It
today.
is amazing.
And you wonder what you're going to see in another 10 or 15 years from
Yeah.
now. What's coming
Right.
down the pike.
Hold on, Dad. In 1971, you were cutting edge. Edge.
Yeah.
You worked for Sylvania.
Yeah, I was-
You brought home a truck with a dog talking into a speaker on the side of it. And you had oscilloscope set up on the back porch, and I'm sitting there talking into a oscilloscope. We're watching Star Trek together. I mean, come on. You were like everything I didn't know anything about and wanted to learn back then. So for us now to sit you down in front of a 3D printer and a computer, I think you'd be blown away at how simple it is.
probably
And
so.
Greg Summerlin would walk you through the process from GNORoboticsUSA.com. We have got to get you one for Christmas,
Oh, hey, I like that idea.
Yeah, me too.
right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
I can say we have a couple of 3D printers at TCS that we use for a variety of different things, for prototyping, for production, and they're pretty
Yeah, I
good.
could
We
see
have-
that for prototyping. Be fantastic.
We have used them a lot and nonstop for production with a couple of things. It's saved us a bunch of money on a lot of different products, and
Great.
it's very helpful. We've been working on our partnership with some of our OEMs, and they're like, hey, we need to co-design this locomotive, and we've got some models for you guys. Can you mock this up and give us some suggestions on what we can do to improve the model or verify that your product is going to fit in here in this way that we think? We did that. For those of you interested in the N-Scale SC44 charger and ALC42 charger that are coming up from Bachmann, there was a lot of involvement there that included the 3D
I have
printer.
one of those, and the sound is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
it
HO
is.
version, yes.
It really is.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with that project. We really accomplished a hell of a thing with that model.
You did a good job.
Dan, do you think that 3D printing will someday replace like tooling molds and injection molding stuff, or
You can't do.
No, I don't think that it'll ever
No.
fully replace it. Now, you might find that outside of the makerspace it becomes more prevalent, but there's a lot of things you can't do with injection molds that you can do with 3D printers, which is a lot of the time why people think like that.
right?
But if you're coming up with a product like this, you got a throttle, you're building a case for it. This isn't something that's very conducive for 3D printing. The time that gets invested into printing something of this size is
right.
kind of a big deal,
Yeah.
and the materials are also dramatically different. If you were to use like an ABS plastic like this, typically you're working with, I think they're FDM printers, the ones that, right?
How'd they
then
go
you,
again?
you get really bad. That's what they sound like when they go around. And your surface quality isn't going to be as good. So that's where the resin printers have come in, and they've really come along a lot in the last couple of years, where the surface quality and all that has improved dramatically. So that's about the only place I can think of where maybe you find them completely replacing it, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
You're picking up a resin printer this weekend,
Yeah.
aren't you? So Norman,
Hey, Norm.
we haven't really talked to him. He's our support guy at Soundtraxx now, and he started with us in January, and he's hit the ground running. And
Is he committed to a purchase yet?
a purchase?
Has he actually committed to buying one yet? Do you know what you?
Well,
think
he's
you
got
might
it.
want?
He's going.
It's so I actually lived not far from here for a while before I moved and started with Soundtraxx, and I had actually bought it at that time, and it's currently still sitting at home. I didn't take it with me in the move.
Okay.
Because I just didn't have the room at the time. Now that I've got myself a bit more established, I've got a place, I can actually look at taking my resin printer with me now.
Very cool.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do.
So what brand is it? What was the make and model?
I need to look at it.
Oh, okay.
It's been a while since I saw it.
But Norman, he's been an N-scale modeler pretty much most of your life. You
Yeah,
wanna give us
There's no scale like it.
I know,
No.
right? Give us a short introduction, because people here have talked to you, but nobody's really seen your face other than people you've known for the years.
Yeah,
Is this your dream job?
pretty close.
So far.
Great.
Yeah, but I started doing this. My dad's been in the hobby. He's actually a retailer at the show, for that matter, since I was at least like 5. I got a Kato GS4 when I was like during the first run when I was like 8. So, and ever since then, I've been in love. I've been in N-scale that entire time. Since I joined Soundtraxx, I've actually started getting more into HO. Well, technically double O, because I'm modeling UK.
Ooh, very nice.
West Coast main line stuff.
He does that too.
We talked about
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, you guys
you've got a bunch of the old triad
have a-
stuff. I'm a bit more modern.
Yeah, mine is pretty ancient equipment, but I used to have an HO double O layout. I did for a while.
Yeah, so I'm starting to move more of the British stuff into double O. I'm sticking to N scale though. I've got primarily at this point I'm looking at Penzi, which I actually picked up one of Bachman's streamlined K4s this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I saw one. The dealers had those. I was really strongly considering picking one up myself. Yeah.
Yeah, they're beautiful little models.
There was a lot of neat stuff at that show today. How about that Broadway Limited Blue Goose? That Santa Fe Blue Goose?
I can't wait
in
for
HO
that
scale?
to come out.
That was pretty.
There was some nice
Nice
layouts
stuff.
too, like N scale. There was
Yeah.
a really
Yeah.
well done modular N scale layout. And that thing was beautiful.
And there was a
I think
you guys see the one with
layout.
Star Wars?
Very cool.
Yes, that was
Yeah, I
actually
saw the
MPNS
Star Wars
back-
One, I wound up having a really long conversation with that guy, and the longer you look at it, the more you see that's hidden.
There was
it's
a
very
Z
well
scale
done.
layout in like a fish tank
Z,
type.
yes,
Yes.
right.
Yes,
That
I saw
was
that.
that was museum
And then he had
modeling.
a
That
HO
was
scale
forced
vehicle in the
perspective
front.
because
Right.
the
He had
truck
the
and the
HO at
guy
the
was
bottom.
HO,
Yeah.
and then yes.
It
But
was
it worked.
really well done.
Very
Yeah.
well
I
done.
think we featured that layout in a What's Neat video at the Indianapolis NMRA meet about 5 years ago, and that was a beautifully executed presentation.
There's not a scale you can't do good work.
It was all
Yeah.
good.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I asked everybody if they spent money, and today I promised I wouldn't. And at the last minute,
This pops on the table.
Deb Zucker and Mike
I
from
love
Spring
it.
Creek Model Trains, and Dave, I had no idea. This is a model from Diecast Miniatures. It's a CAT 6060 mining shovel in HO scale.
Man.
This is the type of load that Dave Davis would actually break it all down, where the shovel and the boom and the tracks were loaded on flat cars individually. I promise I'm not going to break this model up.
For the first week.
I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but it's a beautiful model. And for a base price of something like $170, I thought I can't scratch build that myself.
Yeah.
I
That's
have
an
quite a
impressive
few
price.
of these in the smaller, same HO scale, but smaller things like that. Like the plow and the dump truck, and these are just amazing on the layout.
It's only the second model I bought all year in this hobby. So
Now
yeah,
I just
rock
need
and
to
roll.
about like cut it in half or something like the size. Then I'll be interested in it. It's a very beautiful, well detailed model.
It is very well.
All right, there's a lot of folks outside the window looking in. They're running the Garden Railroad outside with that throttle system from, who makes that throttle?
Rail
Daniel?
Pro.
Rail Pro.
Rail Pro.
That's right, that thing's working. And the sound in that locomotive sounds
Yeah.
like
I thought it was
the
a real
trains in
one.
Illinois.
Yeah, yeah.
We're running to the cliff to see the train.
Yes.
Oh, wait till you get that blue 4408 in it.
Can't wait for that.
Oh,
Amen.
yeah.
There's a lot of good things going on in the hobby right now, and we saw a lot of them at this NMRA show. A lot of amazing new products that are being announced. The September What's Neat will have the RPM show. The October What's Neat video will be the NMRA show, and a lot of the new products that are in that. We talked to Woodland Scenics, Broadway Limited, we talked to Bachman, we talked to a lot of people with interviews this week, and I can't even remember all of them.
We
but I
talked
know
to this guy.
we got 5 more. We did talk to George, but we got to talk to George because George is was fun to talk to.
Yeah.
We got a whole demonstration of Bluenami, so
Yes.
be sure to tune into that
very
episode
cool.
so you
I
can
see
see
that.
it.
Yeah. Good.
So with that said,
Well, I want to make another statement, please.
go ahead, Dad.
I want to plug my train show. The Sedalia Rails train show will take place this year in Sedalia, Missouri, November the 4th. It's our 10th year of this train show, and I'm the chairman. And last year was our largest show we ever had. We had
Great.
we mobbed. They just mobbed the dealers. The people that coming in. So we had dealers from 7 states, including Dallas, Texas. So.
See, like father, like son.
I
Isn't that
know.
amazing? How cute.
And all of the proceeds go to the Pettis County Museum to support our little museum there in Pettis County.
I know. Where do I get it at?
I don't know.
You're a really cool dad, Dad.
Well, thank you. You're
And
a
I'm
great
really
son.
glad. I'm really happy that both of you like Holly.
Oh,
So
she's
thank you for
wonderful.
that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, with this, we got a lot of folks outside running trains. I have a feeling we're going to run some trains inside. And of course, like I always say, I'm going to take the hammerhead and I'm going to give it to Mike.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
small throttle is going to my father.
Oh boy! Wow.
NCE system. This is a Radio Pro
I have got
system.
one of these, and they're fantastic.
Amen. It's a great system, and we love them very much. So with that, folks, anybody else have anything else to add before we close this one out? Number 205.
Thank you. Like us, subscribe, love us, see us on Facebook.
There's something about a bell.
A bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell.
We're almost up to 15,000
No bell.
subscribers. We get about 71 new subscribers every week, so thank you very much for that. I met a really wonderful couple, and we're going to talk about this on another show, that are trying also to create a train show together on YouTube. And I can't wait to actually see it and interview them on this show, and we wish them all the best of luck. Thank you so much, Jennifer Kirk, for helping with what you help with me creating videos for the What's Neat show at Model Road Hobbyists. And again, like a lot of people came up to me and thanked me for this show. It's not me, guys. It's everybody that I'm involved with. I can't do this by myself.
Thank you, everyone,
It's
for
all
watching.
about a
Right.
group. We all share the passion together, and we share it with you. A simple show by Simple Model Railroaders, us, made for you. So thank you so much for the homage. We look forward to seeing you soon as we go to more shows. And with that, let's go run some trains.
All right, thumbnail.
All right, thumbnail shot, keep camera 1 rolling. And after we do thumbnail, don't kill it, keep it going, okay?
49 minutes, 18 seconds.
You guys want to come back here and get it in the shot?
Everybody
Back
want to
there?
come back?
Yeah.
Walk yourselves
Jenny,
around.
Jenny,
Go around behind.
come on, dear. Come on.
Yeah, there should
Don't
be
step
enough
on my
room.
sound
Come
cable.
on, Jenny. Get over here by me. Yeah.
Miguel, James.
There's room.
Yeah, come on.
Hold your hat.
Emma. Yay.
Sure, why not?
All right, everybody smile. Show some teeth. Okay, where's the camera? Oh, it's over there.
Right there.
And is everybody in it, do you think, Daniel?
Hopefully.
Sure,
Okay,
why not?
One more time. Show teeth and smile. Okay, that's the thumbnail. Keep camera 1 rolling as I start shutting down things.
All right.
Rolling.
Good
We'll have
job,
to
guys.
Unpack this one at a time.
This is a 49-minute long show.
Got a lot to talk about.
Amazing.
Dad, thank you.
Thank you. Privilege.
You're going to send him B-roll.
I'm going to have to send him B-roll.
Yeah, I got to
So
send him.
I'll do it tonight or tomorrow
Walk
morning.
away with my man.
This is awesome.
Isn't it?
I don't know if it's $170 awesome, but it's pretty awesome.
Right. And part of it doesn't even have jumper wires, but it's still, it'll make the circle.
It's high, it's fresh air. Oh my goodness.
Seen better days.
I might watch back.
I was kind of sorry for that cricket she was trying to kill on the floor. It kept jumping every time you
I know.
I thought, well, any minute now she's going to go. It's going to go.